Sudhanshu Trivedi of the BJP versus Shobha Oza of the All India Mahila Congress. She's president of the All India Mahila Congress. Yatin Oza, senior advocate and of the BJP, and Hartosh Singhbal, senior journalist. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we begin here. Now, Shobha Oza, we just got the breaking news that the National Commission for Women is not pursuing this matter. Is this a blow to you and to the Congress party which has been pushing this case?
Arnab, National Commission for Women is doing its job. We have nothing to do because it is an independent organization. It has to do whatever it has to do. It has nothing to do with us. As a citizen of this country, as a woman, and approached by many other women organizations, political, non-political, women activists, we all are worried as to what are we heading for. If the state, the government starts snooping, stalking people, how do we survive in this atmosphere?
Do you close your argument? Because you understand your entire argument.
Not at all.
We see the BJP said that the father does not have a problem. The girl does not have a problem. The family does not have a problem. What is the Congress party's problem? You understand? This is what they said.
See,
no, so today when the NCW decides not to follow the case, is it a blow for you? Has your entire campaign been derailed, Ms. Oza?
Not at all, Arnab. No, not at all. We have never demanded the father or the girl's version. We never wanted to know who they are. The question arises here is, does any government, state government or central government or any government in our country, does it has the right to stalk a citizen in this country or snoop into one's individual life?
So we'll get the rebut from the beach. So Sudhanshu Trivedi, the Congress party says this is not a blow to us. It may not be treated as a women's issue, but the issue of surveillance and misuse of the state machinery still stands. I'm sure you agree with it. The NCW has not picked it up, which means it's not been treated as a case of intrusion of the rights of a woman or an infringement on the rights of a woman. But the larger question remains, doesn't it, Mr. Trivedi?
There are three aspects of this question: the legal, moral, and political. As far as your question is concerned, that now they are not making an issue of the women modesty, then why the women wing of Congress party were making so many pradarsans all over there in the country? Second thing, come on the legal aspect of this. First, who had made the allegation? Cobra Post, which on their website are saying that they do not own the responsibility of authenticity of the CD. Means the allegation on the basis of an unauthenticated document. Second, who made the allegation? Both the officers.
No, there's no doubt on it. Mr. Trivedi, there is no doubt that something has happened. First of all, let's be very clear. No, 1 minute. Because what are you saying, Mr. Trivedi? Mr. Trivedi, the father has written a letter. The father has written a letter admitting that something was going on. So, by the way, your whole argument, your entire argument, allow me to complete, your entire argument that the tapes can't be proven and there's nothing to it, that entire argument collapses, Mr. Trivedi. Because via his letter, the father has admitted there was something going on. The only person quiet is Amit Shah.
I am saying the legality of the position is the organization who brought it says unauthenticated.
No, 1 second. But it has been proven, right?
Officers and they
will you say the father is also lying now? Will you say the father has admitted it? But the father has admitted it. I called the chief minister, he says something was going on.
The person in question, the father or person is question is saying we do not want any probe.
No. 1 second. One minute.
Now here's instrument stands.
1 minute. I'll get Hartosh.
Now I will come to the moral aspect.
No, I'll tell you why.
You are trying to make a mockery of the modesty, dignity of a woman against her wishes and with the persistent resistance from her and her family.
Mr. Sudhanshu Trivedi, that's a nice, you're trying to pull out a nice angle to that, but the fact of the matter is law is not a contract between two individuals. The law, as Yatin Oza will realize and admit today, in fact he's just about to admit it, that the law is not a contract between two individuals. The application of a law is not a private contract between two individuals. And the fallout of a law, Mr. Oza, is that it serves to act as a precedent for millions, in this case over 1.2 billion Indians. This becomes a precedent. I have 5 questions to you if this becomes a precedent, Mr. Oza. You answer me tonight. My first question to you on whether this becomes a precedent is that this entire operation,
Arnab,
no, you take the question, then I'll give you full time to reply.
Arnab,
I'll take the question. 5 precedents,
Arnab,
5 answers from you, Mr. Oza. Take question number 1. Take my question. 20 seconds for my question. My question first, Mr. Oza. My question to you is this. This entire operation is done on the basis of an oral complaint by a father. So the precedent being set for all Indians for perpetuity, all Indians today get one precedent that if you want a surveillance of this magnitude, there is no need for any formal procedure documentation. You can pick up the phone, communicate orally, and oral complaints will be the basis for state and central governments to act. What kind of a precedent are you setting, Mr. Oza?
There is nothing wrong, Arnab.
In what?
Because had it been only father saying and daughter put under surveillance is a different thing.
No.
I have a letter written and addressed by the father to the National Commission for Women. Wherein
I asked you
in no uncertain
No, that letter is not an exclusive letter. That letter is with everybody. That letter is with everybody.
My daughter was aware.
Mr. Oza, that letter is nothing. Everybody knows about the letter. We put out this letter.
And it is with her consent.
Mr. Oza, you answer my question. No, I am asking you today, Yatin Oza. Yatin Oza? In future, all Indians will be told, don't have to do anything officially. You can pick up the phone. Nowadays, the government works on telephone. That's the precedent you're setting, right? If you're politically...
Look, there are 2 ways of looking at it.
No, I am looking at it this way. You counter me. You counter me now.
No, I'm definitely countering you, Arnab. Look, the fact situation differs from a case to a case.
No, oral communication is the basis.
Which can't be put in writing.
What you are saying, 1 minute. I have this.
Oral communication can, in an exceptional cases.
Oh, oral. Okay. So
can, in an exceptional case, absolutely nothing wrong about it.
Okay.
And certain things as an executive head of the state, in the larger interest of the girl or a lady,
Mr. Oza, you're getting a question.
He may not like to.
Mr. Oza,
he may not like to disclose.
What was so exceptional about
it? No. Mr. Oza, understand what
the government is handling.
Mr. Oza, understand.
Was there any documentation of any nature?
Now let us not shout.
Any documentation of any nature.
Let us not shout. Arnab, I think you have put a question to me which I am in duty bound to answer. If such type of interruptions, if you are not able to stop the interruptions, it will be very difficult.
It's an open debate, Mr. Oza. You are also free to interrupt. The question is very simple. My question was that, and I'll get Hartosh coming.
That is right. Now, if you read the letter, Arnab, which I have in my hand,
Mr. Oza, this
father writes to National Commission for Women
Mr. Oza,
that my daughter was in knowledge of the surveillance right from day one.
Mr. Oza.
Now, it is one thing to raise the finger of accusation.
That's where you're making a problem. You see, 1 second.
On the ground, the procedure is not followed.
Mr. Oza, this is...
Here the entire debate is as if something very wrong is done.
Mr. Oza, please, please don't take the emotion out of the argument. You are a lawyer. A lawyer argues by the cold application of the law. Tonight I find, Mr. Oza, please don't get me wrong, you have more emotion than fact at your disposal. You have more rhetoric than argument at your disposal.
No, I am very
The only material that you're resting your entire argument on has been with me for 2 days. I asked tonight, my question is, 1.2 billion Indians in the future will say that the same government which throws procedure at us, the same government keeps throwing procedure at us when we want justice. Today, there are so many young women out there who have been pushed back.
In a given case...
The same governments, the same politicians who push procedure back at us are telling us that now, for some people, justice works on the phone. You please explain that. I want Hartosh to come in and then I'll seek a second explanation from you.
No question of justice.
Hartosh.
Justice being delivered on phone. Facts of each case.
Hartosh. Hartosh is rebutting you. My first question was
Mr. Oza has made a lot of noise already.
No, Mr.
Let somebody else speak, Mr. Oza.
Yes, Mr. Oza, Hartosh Singhbal is rebutting you. He's accusing you of making a lot of noise already. He's now responding to you. Yeah.
Arnab, the first case is invoking the letter which is after the fact only substantiates the tapes that have been produced. The question is something else. On what basis is the surveillance order? Today, a father and daughter want surveillance, a minute-to-minute surveillance that requires extensive use of station machinery. No official records are kept, no official records of the orders delivered for this kind of surveillance. I could understand if the daughter felt a certain security perception, a policeman may have been assigned to escort her from the hotel to the hospital. I think most people in this country would even understand that, but this is ridiculous. Minute-to-minute surveillance that extends to hotels, airplanes, without any records, without any written request, without any written orders from the Home Minister. How can we not expect a reply from the government on this?
Second question on this being a dangerous precedent. Excuse me. By the way, Mr. Trivedi, I would like to point out to you that we have had not one word, not one alphabet from the Gujarat government. And you are saying that you doubt the tapes, but if the Gujarat government doubts the tapes, then the Gujarat government should come out and say we doubt the tapes and let there be voice verification. That's not happening. No, that's not happening.
I would like to say...
No, that's not happening. My second question.
I would like to say that they are saying that if the interruption was done on a girl on the oral instruction of either her or from her father is a national issue. We do not consider it. You are free to have your opinion.
Why?
But if you consider this as a national issue, I would like to ask, what was the reaction of the government when there was an allegation of the bugging in the Finance Minister office? And with a stature not less than the present His Excellency President of India, Mr. Pranab Mukherjee.
We are getting a rebut from Shobha Oza.
What was the stand of this government when the charges of snooping by United States in the cyberspace? Then the government was evading
getting a counter from the Congress.
Which was on the question of the sovereignty and the security of India. Where was this government when the charges of snooping of our leader of the opposition in Rajya Sabha, Mr. Arun Jaitley? That was not a national issue. The snooping by China is not a national issue. Snooping by USA is not the national issue. Snooping in the finance ministry is not the national issue. Snooping of the leader of the opposition is not a national issue. But the snooping of a girl, even with their consent...
No, so what is your logic, Mr. Trivedi? Is the logic... 1 minute. I say tonight...
What is the logic?
I say tonight all snooping is an issue. If you pick up today, then let me also say, you pick up the former IB Joint Director M.K. Dhar's book called Open Secrets. And Shobha Oza, there is a point here. You pick up chapter number 18, which is called Grilled in Open Fire. Read page number 267. And it will tell you of the shocking details of snooping that were carried out allegedly by Indira Gandhi, including allegations that Indira Gandhi and R.K. Dhawan asked Dhar to put a tab on Home Minister Zail Singh's movements.
Tab on...
Right? The Intelligence Bureau found out that Zail Singh meets certain Sikh leaders. All of this was being routinely tapped upon. So snooping is a fine art. I make that
first. Even M.K. Dhar has also said that Indira Gandhi was having surveillance of Sonia Gandhi.
Well, 1 second. No. It's
he has mentioned in his
book. No. The argument...
Mr. Trivedi,
So,
please don't come out with such... don't make the issue so trivial.
No.
I am just quoting
I would like to point out here, the time and again the BJP has been saying, Mr. Trivedi also said that the girl had given a consent for this security, or she had asked the security along with her father. Now tell me, does security, define security first of all? Second, the transcript says follow her, trap her, where is she, who is she with? Does all these words fall under the definition of security?
Yeah, that's
and if it was security, a PSO would have accompanied her and he would have said, fine, madam is safe, she's here, she's there. But following this girl outside the limits of the state, and whom she is with, tapping her phone, her relative's phone, her friend's phone, snooping, stalking. What is this? Is this security?
Question number 2 on this being a precedent. Shobha Oza.
Security is not needed by anyone in this country.
My second question goes to Yatin Oza, who was on the back foot in response to question number 1. Let's see if Mr. Oza can take question number 2. Mr. Oza, I am on the simple argument of what kind of precedent this sets. Now, this father's letter, you have a copy of it, you can correct me if I am wrong. it clearly mentions his long-standing association with the Chief Minister. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right or am I wrong? Yeah, right. Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
No, you are right. I am saying you are right. I have the letter in my hand.
Thank you. I am usually right, but does this mean, therefore, Mr. Oza, that this kind of quote-unquote protection, which I don't understand what kind of protection is it in which 24 files of your audio tapes are kept aside? You are tracked in hotels, malls, which movie you are seeing, which boy you are meeting, everything is tracked. I don't know which flight you are arriving at, what food you are eating, which hotel room you are staying in. All this is being tracked, which you say is protection. Fine, even if that is the Gujarat government's definition of protection. My question to you is, we are coming to an argument where there are a privileged few people who are politically connected will get this kind of protection by picking up the phone. And for the rest of Indians, poor Indians, who don't have these high-flying political contacts, let me complete. For them, you'll throw the rule book. You'll say, go to the Thana, make an application, go file an FIR, then go to your SHO. Leave alone meeting the Home Secretary, you will not be able to contact ever anybody higher than him. So, double standards, Mr. Oza, you admit?
There is no question of double standard.
Really? Were political
Mr.
contacts
Modi
not used to fast track the process?
On net, he interacts with the people whom he does not know, who are his own people, and he has solved several such grievances on a complaint made to him directly.
But the law is not
and this is not the first case.
This is the law.
This is not the first case.
Do governments work like this?
Volume thoda kam karo.
Do governments work like this?
No, I am not on that. Here.
No, but I am on it. No, I am on precedent.
Congress and other critics are on back foot. Now they come out with the procedural lapse.
Mr. Oza, an influential man.
This is not an issue of Congress or
now
BJP.
When the bigger issue has been closed, chapter of a bigger issue is closed by this letter. Now you come to procedure things.
No. I am saying today, Mr. Oza, please understand. Mr. Oza, how many Indians?
1 minute.
No, 1 minute. Mr. Oza, how many Indians? How many Indians in how many states?
Followed is one thing.
How many Indians?
And snooping is another thing.
No, forget all that. See, what I am saying is, you are saying you have the divine right to snoop.
At least people in Gujarat know one thing, that doors of Mr. Modi, whether you know him or you do not know him,
but you
are open for all 24 hours. Are open for all 24 hours.
So Amit Shah.
And their grievances are being addressed directly by Mr. Modi.
Any woman.
Without there being any MPs, MLAs or party workers in between.
Mr. Oza, so this is your logic, okay, not mine. Your logic is that any woman who needs protection will directly get the follow-up done through the Chief Minister's office, and the Home Minister of Gujarat will 24 hours follow-up, track the movements, put people on flights to ensure individual protection, find out where that woman goes to in which movie hall, where she goes with anybody else, keep 22 files, audio files ready on the woman.
None of the women in this country want
ready on the woman.
from Mr. Modi or Amit Shah.
You want me to believe that? And all this is done by the taxpayers' money.
Home Minister did it.
This is not a private investigation. You see, you are running a government, not a detective agency.
There is no question of private investigation when it comes to a protection for the reasons which may be very serious. You need not debate on the reasons. You are not supposed to go behind the reasons. And at that stage, some expenses on the state exchequer becomes irrelevant.
Okay, 1 minute. Getting a counter from Hartosh to that one. This is your argument here. So an ordinary citizen today, as per the law which Yatin Oza propounds, can pick up the phone. Don't have to go to the police, don't have to file an FIR, don't have to go through documentation, don't have to show proof, don't have to establish nature of threat. There has to be no threat assessment carried out. There has to be no involvement at any end. You just have to pick up the phone and call.
No, question is when it comes to personal life and liberty, Gujarat Chief Minister is one Chief Minister whose doors are open 24 hours.
Liberty or life.
Mr. Oza?
How do you know? We did not disclose the reasons.
Mr. Oza.
Reasons must have justified.
Mr. Oza, the Home Minister should be...
There is no question of monarchy.
Mr. Oza...
Or monarchical approach. Please, I'm sorry.
No, you should not get angry. I'm only asking questions. You're getting a counter from Yatin Oza.
I can make out, Mr. Oza.
Hartosh is responding to Yatin Oza.
This is ad hoc dispensation where no question should be asked. There is a personal cult which will decide what is to be done or not, whatever expenditure is required, and then later you can invent whatever justification you want. Nobody is supposed to question them. Nobody is supposed to ask reasons. No reasons will be provided. This is between two individuals and the Home Minister of a state or the Chief Minister of a state.
Yeah.
And obviously we are not in a constitutional arrangement where questions can be asked.
Yeah. Well, in that case, the same argument can be put for the Congress.
Arnab, are we discussing procedural lapse or snooping?
No, I am discussing precedent. I am discussing...
Snooping is being discussed.
I am discussing
this
precedent.
This concludes the issue.
I am discussing precedent. Precedent.
No, it doesn't.
I am discussing what example you are setting for the rest of the country. That's all. You are saying the woman and her family has no complaint. Let the rest of the country not complain. The rest of the country will ask you, does the rest of the country get the same treatment as in this case? Simple. It's a fairly simple, straightforward question. Similarly, the Congress party can also be accused. No. There are two ways of doing it.
Snooping without knowledge of the girl.
One minute. There are
now snooping is found to be
the knowledge or without
not only
knowledge.
with her consent, but with her prior intimation.
Mr. Oza, please understand, there's dangerous parts in one part of the tapes. Allegedly.
Trapper.
The voice is said, allegedly the voice says, throw him in jail for as long as Vanzana. Now, if this is not Amit Shah's voice, he should come out and say it. Allegedly, this is being said. Now, if a man is thrown into jail, right? What is the argument? A person is thrown into jail for being in the company of a woman who is under special surveillance, who is facing protection. I mean, I don't understand this. Does a man have to be put into jail for being in the company of a woman who is getting protection? The content of the tapes is important, and you are trying, when you question the motives of Cobra Post and Gulel.
The contents of the tape are surely not, the contents of the tape are surely not that because Mr. Sharma is in company of the lady that is to be put behind the bars. Please
No, I'm not talking of Sharma. This is another part of the
documents for which actions have been taken
please
against Mr. Sharma.
No, Mr. Oza.
What has been found from his computer?
Mr. Oza.
How does Mr. Oza know that it is not in relation to that?
Mr. Oza, please understand. Here's a question. Now, my next question is to the BJP spokesperson. You question the motives of Cobra Post and Gulel, right? Mr. Trivedi, Meenakshi Lekhi says Cobra Post and Gulel are surrogates of the Congress party. That's your argument. Will this argument hold? Because the Supreme Court of India has said that the substance in the allegations outweighs the affiliation of the person who is making the allegations. You can say the person making the allegations is a fraud, but that does not take away the charges which have been made, and the charges need to be investigated independently. So, Mr. Trivedi, in this case, can Amit Shah simply get away by not speaking? You have a criminal investigation.
No,
let there be an independent criminal investigation and settle the matter finally, once and for all.
Whatever has been said from BJP or from Meenakshi Lekhi is having one more dimension. Our friends from Congress and other party are saying that the activity of the Gujarat government should be a matter of scrutiny, which was compassionate and, in their opinion, more compassionate, more concerned over activity, whatever it is. If they are honest enough, then they should also say that put an inquiry on who has got this tape, how they have got these tapes, and how many other confidential documents of intelligence they have got. Is this not be the matter of equal inquiry? That you are infringing in the intelligence structure of the state? If you have raised the issue of both the inquiries, then you should have been seen as a justifiable. But right now it seems Arnab, that you are just raising a procedural issue.
No, 1 second.
For your political gain.
Mr. Trivedi.
Snooping of US is not a national issue.
This is a very dangerous and ill-founded argument.
Yes, go ahead. Hartosh.
This is not a question of the Congress or the BJP. If journalists get hold of information that is important in the public domain, they will put it out. I didn't hear the BJP make this argument, say, about the Radia tapes.
Not once.
It's the question of What is important? It's up to journalists to put it out. That is what they've done. How does the Congress or the BJP come into this?
No, it does come into picture. I tell you how.
Then why you are having two different standards for two same situation?
Yatin Oza.
Yes, absolutely yes.
You are giving Radia on one hand,
yes.
and you are totaling the setting of Scott free to Cobra Post on one other hand.
1 minute. Mr. Singhal is a principal accused in Ishrat Jahan fake encounter case. He would have been in jail for a number of years and bail was almost impossible to get. He got out on a default bail. And Arnab, please listen to me 1 minute uninterrupted. 1 minute.
The father has confirmed the contents of the tapes for you to pass slander on an officer.
But you decide what your argument is.
The investigation.
You are trying to deviate from the point without answering what is essential.
1 minute.
No, you decide.
The investigation shows. The investigation shows.
No, you decide what your argument is.
On the day he was released on default bail.
Yes.
Thereafter, till the charge sheet, no investigation has taken place. Charge sheet was not laid before the court so as to see that Singhal comes out.
So you are saying that Singhal...
This is not a question
of Singhal. To get everything done at their own wish and will.
So Mr. Yatin Oza, unfortunately, you have ended up demolishing your whole argument in 3 points. In 3 ways, you have demolished your whole argument. Right now, you just did it.
Tell me.
3 ways. Can I tell you how you demolished your own argument? This is exceptional. I have not seen something like this before.
Yeah, tell me, please tell me.
First, you began by saying that...
Please tell me.
I'll tell you, please have the patience. First, you began by saying that the tapes are fake. The authenticity of the tapes are not proven. Then you have gone on to contradict yourself by saying that you can't trust the person who's given the tapes. So you demolished argument number 1. You accept yourself?
I'm sorry.
Please,
I'm sorry both ways.
Second.
I said first the authenticity and second in alternative. Not that I give up my first argument that its authenticity is under doubt.
What is this argument?
It is over and above the first argument. 1 minute please. It's over and above the first argument.
Mr. Oza, how can it be? How can it be? Your first argument was that the tapes have no authenticity. Your second argument is that the content of the tapes cannot be taken seriously because of the individual concerned. In the course of doing so, I'll tell you where you contradicted yourself the second time.
Can I tell you?
Argument. No, 1 minute.
That is an additional argument to my first submission.
Now I'll tell you. Now I'll tell you why you demolished yourself the second time. That is an additional argument to
my first submission. That its authenticity is in doubt.
Mr. Oza, then you
Mr. Trivedi rightly said that he has put a note of disclaimer.
No. 1 second. Then you demolished your second argument because in response to Hartosh will trust me. In response to Hartosh, you said that now we must investigate how this has violated certain rules whereby snooping cannot be done. Hence, if you want to find out why Amit Shah was snooping, you must find out who was snooping to get these tapes. You went on to say that Singhal has had a role in getting these tapes. If Singhal had a role in getting the tapes, then there was no violation because it is only the release of the tapes which has happened. It has gone through certain procedure. It has not gone through no permission has been sought for the snooping. Singhal was taping his conversations with Mr. Amit Shah, don't you understand? If Singhal was taping his conversations with Mr. Amit Shah, there has been no violation of the Telegraph Act. Therefore, your second point is also demolished, Mr. Oza. Now answer my third point.
I don't agree, Arnab.
No, you may not agree, but this is the cold logic of the argument.
You may not agree for anything.
This is the cold logic of the argument.
Absolutely not. This is no logic according to me.
Well, it may not be according to you, but I have just proven to you that on 2 occasions you have ended up contradicting yourself. My last question goes to Mr. Sudhanshu.
No, it is your perception that you have proven.
Well, fine. I have only asked those questions there. You disagree with it. My question
the BJP has come up with a set of new law for themselves and for the country.
My third question and final question is this, that what was the threat assessment that was carried out in this case? Last reason, Sudhanshu Trivedi, that you can carry out any use of official machinery in any which way you want without doing a threat assessment. Isn't this dangerous, Mr. Trivedi? Without any threat assessment, you can deploy the police in any way?
It could have been a question if it would have been without the consent of the person concerned. if it is on the request of the person concerned, yes, you can question whether it was oral or real on the procedural aspect. But you cannot put a question on moral aspect.
So I come to you.
Again, I am saying that my counterpart from Congress has not given the answer that the snooping from USA, China and of our leader of the opposition was not an issue.
Mr. Oza, one second, Mr. Trivedi. So what you are saying is this. Tomorrow, anybody will call Gujarat government, Chief Minister, Home Minister and right now and say that, I am a citizen, I face great threat. I immediately, right now, in the next few minutes, need security. 24 hours, I need people following me, finding out which hotel I am going to, where I am going to watch a movie, who I am with. My phone numbers will have to be followed. My phones will have to be tapped, right? There will be messages put out to put my companions in jail. There will be an attempt to find out the room numbers of the hotel the concerned person is staying in. Officials from the ATS and the Intelligence Bureau will track me. I will be followed on flights. All of this will be done on the basis of a phone call. And every government minister or chief minister will have to duly respond and say immediately, all of this will be done. Mr. Trivedi, no threat assessment. You feel it is also normal. No threat assessment required. This is the way things are supposed to work? You really think so?
Since we are not having that overall picture of the incidents, but so I am ready to welcome your questions. I am ready to welcome your questions if my 3 questions would have been answered.
Well, okay.
The snooping or bugging in the finance ministry, by the US, by the China and by the...
That's what Hartosh is responding 20 seconds before I wrap it and go to debate number 2 tonight. I argue tonight from the position of precedent. I am arguing tonight from the position of precedent and...
What precedents you have left for it?
Precedent is terrible. If the Congress government has done it, the BJP can't do it. If the BJP is doing it tomorrow, third front government will do it. Everybody will do it. I don't think this is the answer, especially not on a day. Today, I would like to say this, that in Bangalore, there was a woman who needed protection from the state and from the bank. And that woman was attacked with a machete. And she is fighting with a cracked skull. There is no protection to the citizen. That's why I'm asking these questions today. Hartosh, I know I needed to come to you. I give you 20 seconds to wrap up the debate. The question only is of precedent. Hartosh.
Arnab, the BJP is making a mockery of the real situation. This woman could have asked for protection and the request could have been considered. Which woman wanted day-to-day surveillance of her every movement, wanting to know who she met, who she didn't? Was she confused about that? I mean, this is after the fact invention of trying to justify something that has violated all procedures. It's a dangerous precedent. It should not be allowed, and the government has to answer how this could be allowed to happen.
Okay, we'll see what kind of a response we get.
The mockery is that the person is answering on behalf of the lady.
The one person who knows.
Quite contrast to what has been a written document.
The one person who knows. His name is Amit Shah.
Father has submitted the document.
The one person who knows, his name is Amit Shah, and Amit Shah spent the larger part of the day today avoiding the Times Now cameras and reporters. We continue to track and see whether he speaks. Mr. Oza, short of time, Mr. Oza.
Arnab, 1 minute, just 1 second before you wrap up.
Yeah.
Just 1 second before you wrap up.
Yeah.
The father has written.
Yes.
And now I am not speaking as BJP or as Congress.
No, you are a BJP representative.
Look at the pains with which, tearful pains with which father has written. A lady is now peacefully settled with her husband.
Mr. Oza.
Such type of controversies and debates
Mr. Oza.
would ultimately result into disastrous consequences,
Mr. Oza, that's
which may even affect a well-settled,
Mr.
life.
Mr. Oza, I'll tell you one thing.
At what
Mr.
cost
Oza, for all you say, it will not make black white. It will not make wrong right. I will follow this debate tomorrow. We'll see where the story goes.
But it will surely ruin somebody's...
No, Mr. Oza, provide protection to everyone. Provide protection to those who are not politically connected. Provide protection via a phone call to the average Indian citizen. And then you can take that argument. I thank you for joining me on Newshour Debate 1 tonight. Thank you, Mr. Oza.